All right, so again, welcome to Momentum Monday with me, Emily McHugh, the supercharged coach. And we always want to start our Mondays off with momentum, start our week off with momentum, because it keeps us going, it keeps us supercharged. So we have that energy, we have that focus of what we want to achieve, what we're trying to achieve, what we hope to achieve, and be able to just do it and have the tools and the resources and the wherewithal. And that's my goal, to help support you on that journey, your entrepreneurial journey, so that you'll feel supported and encouraged. And I want to thank all of those of you who attended the Supercharged Method mini mastermind that I held for the past 4 weeks during the month of January. It was very wonderful to interact with you, engage with you, and to get your feedback on the 4 pillars or cornerstones of the Supercharged Method, which is all about your vision, your mindset, the strategy, and the growth of your business, and taking into account all those 4 things, sometimes one at a time, sometimes all together, as necessary as you go forward. So last week I spoke about growth. I also did a bonus session on that, so please check it out in the Facebook group. I highlighted the importance of having a growth strategy, and I gave the analogy of plants growing and everything. And I showed you my orchid that was just budding. It hadn't blossomed fully yet, but guess what? This week, ta-da! Here's my orchid. It has it just sprung. One of the beautiful flowers just opened up. You can see it. So excited. Oh, I love my orchid. So I wanted to share this with you because last week it was at this stage, and now this week it's at this stage. So it just goes to show you that with the right ingredients and the right attention and the right care, and with patience and time, yes, you too can bring something to fruition. And of course, God's design, humans can do but so much. But this is really a testament to that. So I thought I would share that little treat with you, because it's so excited when you see an orchid bloom. And again, to encourage you with your business. So today, I wanted to share with you the 7 entrepreneur mindset traps and how to avoid them. And this is a free gift download that any of you can download from the superchargedcoach.com/free gift. Go on there and download your the mastermind traps. And I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to share some of the highlights. I'll give you kind of an overview, and then we can also maybe at another time break them down more in depth one by one. So let me go and show you if I can get let me see. Let me try to find my screen here. I had it all lined up. No, I don't see it. I don't know why I don't see it. It's kind of strange. Let's see if I can do that. Hopefully it will cooperate with me. Oh, that's weird. Okay, here we go. All right, wonderful. All right, so I'm going to share my screen over here on Canva. And for those of you who don't already know that I'm like the biggest Canva fan the world has ever seen, I just love this program for what it allows you to do. Let me know if you guys are into Canva. I know a lot of you are, but for those of you who aren't, or maybe not familiar with it, it's a wonderful, I would say, graphic design creative tool that allows you to really supercharge your creativity. And it's what I use. It's the tool I use for all my backdrops, my Zoom backdrops, all my graphics. Pretty much everything that I'm showing you graphically, I use Canva for it. So it's just an amazing tool. So today I want to walk you through my mindset tips. Let me go back to the, oops, going ahead of me. It's going way ahead of me. Come on. Oh my gosh, what did it just do? It like went through all of my slides. All right, okay, let's start at the very beginning. So on here, what I find is that as entrepreneurs, we can fall into traps, literal traps all along the way, whether it's a mindset trap or whatever. And usually it is a mindset trap of ways of thinking that you may have embedded in your mind, and you think that's gospel because you think it. And or because you're not familiar with another way, you may just think that way. So I thought it would be very helpful to address those things head on and to be aware that they can creep up at any part of your journey. It's not just when you're starting or when you're new to entrepreneurship. You could be in business 20 years and still are susceptible to these traps. So don't think it's just for, early stages. You have to be mindful of them throughout your journey. And so you avoid them by learning how to supercharge your self-talk. And so I've created this kind of roadmap to help you stop self-sabotage, because that is exactly what happens. We get into this way of thinking and then we literally kind of sabotage our own progress. So that is a quick overview of what that is about. So I introduce you here to the roadmap, showing a little bit about my background, 20 plus years experience as an entrepreneur. I've worked in international finance, international business. I've lived in like 6 countries. I worked in banking when I was in college. I actually graduated. Well, before I graduated, I worked for a French bank in New York City for many years, and then worked there in Mexico City as well for BNP, Banque Nationale de Paris. So I have a background in finance and international business, international trade. And then when I started my own business, Kasori, I learned firsthand doing international trade, going to China, going to Asia, different parts of Asia, and really working with factories, with manufacturers to create our products. And so I know definitely what it takes to build a business from the ground up, from scratch, from nothing, and launch a product and all of that. So I've taken all that experience and put it into my coaching, put it into my book, my Little Girl's Guide to Entrepreneurship, put it all in there. And so now, reflecting on that experience, I've put this now into this roadmap. And what I want you to do is to take notes, really print this out, take notes on it, and really take it to heart. Because this is not just a little list of 7 little things. These are 7 major things that can make a major difference in your business. So trap number 1 of the 7 entrepreneur mindset traps is we overthink and we second guess our decisions. Oh my word, we overthink. Now, this isn't to say that you shouldn't take time to think something through, okay, and just be rash and just, react to everything. But yes, there's a time to think things through, and there's a time when we overthink. And I think we do know the difference. We know the difference when we're starting to procrastinate, delay, and when you don't trust your instincts and you don't trust your gut, that's the second guessing. And it can be very dangerous. If you're in doubt about something, that's one thing, okay? So not to oversimplify and say that there aren't moments for pause and reflection. If you're not sure of a decision, take your time and think it through. Absolutely. But then sometimes when you're always doubting yourself to the point where you make no decision, that's the problem, okay? So that's the difference. So trap number 2 is being overwhelmed by all the things to do, feeling time-strapped and stuck. Now, why is that a trap? Because being overwhelmed is a natural feeling that many of us experience like regularly for one reason or another, whether it's a time deadline or something that you have to do that's urgent. So, but the overwhelmed is a trap because we're overwhelmed, we feel we can't move forward. And because we feel we can't move forward, we take that as a legitimate reason to not move forward. That's the problem. That's why it's a trap, because you can still make progress even being overwhelmed. And the key is to reduce the overwhelm somehow, find a way to minimize that overwhelm. What are the things that give you an overwhelming feeling? For example, for myself, having a really messy desk gives me a very overwhelming feeling. I feel like I can't find anything, everything's piled up. So just taking the time to clean off my desk, which I did yesterday, like you wouldn't believe. Cleaned up my home office, got rid of stuff that I wasn't using, just sitting there on a shelf, wasting space. And just seeing the clear space, I'm like, oh, how relaxing. So some things like that. Trap number 3, fear of failure and making mistakes. Look here, people. Just accept the fact that you're going to make a mistake here or there, maybe there and here and everywhere at some point or another. It's an inevitable part of the process, and to be afraid of it is to just stunt the whole journey before you even start. So yes, you're going to make some mistakes, but the important thing is Learn from them, learn from other people's mistakes, even better, and try to avoid what you can, but just don't let that be an impediment for you. Trap number 4, it takes too long to see results. Enter exhibit A, my orchid. Yes, it takes almost a whole year to see this bloom come out. Well, is it 9 months? I forget how long, but a long time, okay? It blooms like once a year and you have to wait a whole other year for it to come back. But I know it's gonna come, and I have to be patient. And as I said before in the prior workshop, which I encourage you to read about the growth, watch the growth mindset, it takes time. So you have to be patient and realize that that is part of the process. And let's see, where are we now? Trap number 5. Okay, so can't catch up. The competition is better and farther ahead. So what? You're not trying to catch up with anybody. You need to really catch up with yourself, really. You can't catch up with other people. Everyone is on their own journey and on their own path, and trying to catch up with them is a fool's errand. Do not try to catch up with people. We are all on our different paths, working at our different rhythms, doing our things at our different pace, according to our different skill sets that we all uniquely have. You cannot catch up. You can only work towards your goals that you have. And you can be motivated by what other people do. You see someone doing something, you know, that really encourages me to get going with what I want to do. Yeah, that's a good thing. But not trying to compete on the level of I have to get ahead or I have to do this. It's what is your pace of your mission, okay? Fulfilling your mission. That's all that this is about. Trap number 6, there are not enough customers. Let me tell you something. Customers, there are how many billion people in this world? Okay, just start to do the math. If you have a solution for a problem, as I put it, if you have a real solution for a real problem, there are customers. And trap number 7, actually, I'm just gonna move to the next slide for a second. If it would cooperate with me. Yeah, I actually meant to get to the slide before. But anyway, trap number 7, I am not ready enough and have more questions than answers. You'll never be ready enough, okay? Because there's always something else to learn, always something new to learn. But by the time you learned everything, you may have lost your opportunity, time's running out, or running away, shall I say. So it's not about I'm not ready. It's like, what consists of ready? You have a vision, you have an idea, you have the initial first steps to take. That's ready. Start with that. And you continue to learn as you go. Continue to learn as you go. This doesn't mean that everything must be half-baked or mediocre. By no means. We always want to strive for excellence and have things done well. But sometimes good enough has to be good enough just to get it going. It's what people need just to get started. You don't have to have this masterpiece before you start. And this thing keeps blocking my screen. Can't even read what's on here. Okay, let's move it over here. And then I have bonus tip number 8, or bonus tip, is entrepreneurship is too exhausting and unpredictable. It's too tiring. It can be all of that. It can be tiring, it can be exhausting, and it certainly can be unpredictable. But your job is to reduce the probability of risk, reduce it so that the predictability increases and the unpredictability decreases. So pacing yourself, getting your rest, taking the time to implement a strategic and an implementable, achievable strategic plan. And it's all about those things. And so I encourage you to, as I said, print this out, print out this sheet, especially this one, look at it, think about it. And then I want you to test yourself and challenge yourself to see when you might be susceptible to any one of these. So I went through a whole list, I won't go through these right now, of different strategies of how to combat the self-sabotage, being aware of what you're thinking, classifying your thoughts, whether they're negative and positive, being aware of your vocabulary, looking at what you believe to be true, believe what is possible, what are you truly believing about your opportunities, and positioning yourself to succeed so that you're showing up, you're there to take advantage of this. And you want to acknowledge how you feel. You don't want to ignore how you feel. This isn't about like, I'm feeling overwhelmed and I want to ignore it. No, you want to acknowledge how you're feeling at any point in time, because that's a part of you addressing it and solving the problem. And then you want to be willing to change, evolve with the opportunity, and align your expectations with the process. And that goes back to what I was saying about the plant. You do what you need to do and realize it's a process involved. Okay, so just keep going through this. I gave some more details on the strategy. So when you download it, again, go to the supercharge.coach the superchargecoach.com/free gift to download this. And I have the /connect on here where it's also, you can link to it as well. Okay, so those are some more of the bonus strategies in more detail. And so what I have here is a checklist highlighting all these different things I mentioned. And you go to the checklist and you say to yourself, which of these things am I guilty of? Okay, am I constantly second guessing? Am I constantly doing X, Y, Z? You know, what am I doing? Now, this list here is the strategies. These are not the traps. So here it's like the things that you want to do more of to increase your self-talk or improve your self-talk, you know, increase your awareness and so forth. Okay, so that's what you want to remind yourself to do. And then this is a little quiz where you can kind of rate yourself on whether you're making progress in one area or another. And again, this is for you, kind of a self-assessment to just monitor what your thought patterns are, because sometimes we're not even fully aware of what we're thinking consciously because we're so used to it. So this is to increase the mindfulness level and that awareness level so that you can make more conscientious decisions, and it will minimize a lot of those other traps that we can fall into. So go ahead and do this. Again, print them out. And then what are the next steps? So the next step are to implement these tips, okay? Not just print them and put them down. No, I really want you to work through them. Put it in a binder. I call it your supercharge binder for regular referral. And take 1 point a day and look at it, highlight it, and think about throughout your day, you see this mindset trap coming up. Also, number 2, if you sign up for Get This Download, you'll also receive my weekly Supercharge weekly newsletter, yes, which comes out on Sunday mornings. And I share various tips and links to things that I think will help you through the week. Another time, I'm going to walk through some of the newsletters so you can if you're new to that, I can show you what I highlight there. And then I invite you to connect with me on Instagram at Emily the Entrepreneur, where I'll share additional tips and insights and so forth throughout the week. And if you're not a member of my Facebook group, please join me at Supercharge with Emily Facebook group, so we can continue our conversation and keep things going and connect some more. So that's what I invite you to do. And I invite you also to share with me your feedback on what I'm sharing with you today. If you have additional tips that you would add to this list, that you other traps or other advice to avoid self-sabotage, I invite you to share it. Put it in the comments, let me know, because we can always expand it. We know it can be way more than 7, but I would love to know what resonates with you, which of these speak to you specifically or you feel like you have to work through. And we can keep the conversation going on this. But I think that this is the foundation to supercharge anything in your business, is to always understand what's creeping up in your mind, in your head, that could be derailing you internally, so that you can address it and overcome it and go where you need to go. And again, not to simplify any of these things, because all of them, many of them, can be very challenging in and of themselves, by themselves. And the key is, once you're aware, you can be more proactive in overcoming it and therefore supercharge it. All right, so that's what I have for you this week. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you next week. In the meantime, stay supercharged. Yes, stay supercharged no matter what, at your own pace, okay? Just keep it going in the best way you can. And that's what we do. All right, so check out the newsletter if you've received it. Check out all the great links. I have the playlist on there, all these cool things. So I hope it makes a difference and helps your week go gain momentum. All right, take care, guys, and see you next time. Bye-bye.